In this video I'm going to be building a scout car using a Mazda MX-5 made by Tamiya. As you can see in the box it says something else. I've never heard of it called that name. I know in America it's called the Miata. Let me know in the comment section if you've ever heard of it called whatever it says in the box there, but I don't even know how to pronounce that. Right, moving on. As you can see, I've already started on this build. I'm being inspired mostly because I've seen a lot of MX-5s on the internet being modified to go off-road, and I figured this would make a really good scout car. So these are some wheels I've had in my stash box for a while. The 1/35 scale armoured vehicle wheels. I bought them off eBay. The gun is a Brick Combat minigun, which I've mounted to the roll cage. The roll cage is from a Chevy Nova kit, which, if some of you remember, I built into the junker, and for those who don't, here's that car now. I plan to build up the trunk space so that you can actually see the interior, as there's no interior for this kit, and the gunner will stand here when he's manning the machine gun. I was originally thinking of converting this to 4-wheel drive, but this chassis is pretty much pre-molded and there's not much room to try and fiddle around trying to put like a transfer case and such like that in there, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Since the wheels were a bit too big for the original wheel arches, I cut them out using a hobby knife, and then I plan to use diamond plate styrene and cut it into pieces to make the wheel arches. The idea behind this is it's been made up of cut up pieces of old tyres. As you can kind of see with the diamond plate, it looks a bit like tread. For the side, I wanted to make this car look like it's been rammed off the road a few times and it's just been bumped and scraped. And the owners have just used a hammer and tried to hammer the body panel straight or close enough so that they can continue using the vehicle. To achieve this effect, I used a sapphire piece on my Dremel and just randomly pushed down on the body and then smoothed out the indentations. I've already started on the plate armour on the window here. The scoop is another part that's from a part box. It's from an Intellery truck accessories kit. Another feature I've always wanted to try is drift stitching. As you can see, here's the early attempt at the bumper here. Also cut the headlights out. The intent of modelling these headlights flipped open. As usual, I'm going to be using green stuff to add weld here to show this piece of metal has been welded against the door to kind of reinforce the side. May also add some of the welding to the scoop, but I'm not too sure yet. Here you can see the drift stitching on the back. I've gone into more detail and showed the rear bumper quite destroyed this time. As you can see, I'm barely just started on this side. Just as the build a bit further along, I've painted the body. As you can see, I've added the welding and also started the armour on the windows. I've painted the wheels to look like they're off a military vehicle of some sort. Since the doors are going to be welded shut, I've made this panel on the window fall down so the driver could actually get in, as there's not really going to be much room for him to get in if he climbed over the top of the vehicle. There's not going to be one on the passenger side because there's no passenger seat, which is actually in the Warden, which again here's another picture of. So I needed that seat for the driver's seat for that vehicle, as well as I was going to use the passenger area as a storage area for this vehicle. The exhaust is actually from a Cromleach Orc exhaust pack. As you can see, I built the trunk interior now with diamond plate, and the gunner will stand on this when he's manning the minigun. This is the Miata Scout car finished now. For the headlights, I used some Zane Industries, I think they're called hazard warning lights. I like to use these lights because they really do look the part for fog lights with the bars around them. So it's kind of the idea is that they've replaced the original headlights with these aftermarket fog guns that they've probably scavenged from some kind of vehicle part shop. Initially I did want to put a reinforced front bumper on this, but I really like the way the car, how it looks with the lights, and it kind of looks like it's got a face, so I give it some teeth. It's just stupid, but I just really like the idea of putting a face on this thing. As you can see, I've added some more stitching to the drift stitching. Initial problem I had with this was the weathering. I usually put some kind of a wash over the top of the cars, and unfortunately the wash I put on this one was a little too dark, as you can kind of tell with the armour, and literally painted the car black. So I had to go back and lift it up a bit, just so you could see the orange paint underneath. Because I didn't want to lift it up too much because it was a bright orange vehicle and you would have seen it a mile away. So, cool thing about this particular model is you can model the wheels so that they actually turn. Unfortunately with my wheel arches there's not enough room because the wheels stick out a bit. I have tried bending the wheel arches up a bit, but as you can kind of see here, they're cracking, so I don't want to. I might have to redo the wheel arches at some point so that I can have the wheels full lock at some point. Also, initially I was going to put the side mirrors back on this car, but with the armour you wouldn't have seen them, so instead I've added these little bits of wire to make it look like the side mirrors were knocked off when the side damage was done. Again, these little panels here to indicate that the doors have been welded. Got the brake lights on now. This is me trying to do a number plate, because I think the original number plate decals have got that Eunos Roadster thing, whatever that name is. I've never heard of one of these called that. MX-5, yeah. Miata, yeah. Eunos Roadster, who names it their Eunos Roadster? I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, that's why, but yeah, whatever that name's supposed to be. I also removed out these little lights here in the front and the back on both sides, because these are supposed to be other indicator lights, but I figured they'd have been lost ages ago, and you know, you're not going to care about turn signals in the apocalypse, are you? So, also this little fuel cap I've made, initially there is like the markings for the fuel cap, but when I did the whole Dremel work over all the bodywork, I covered that up and lost it, so I had to drill right down. Oops, just hit my light there. Oops, again. And then I ended up making this custom one. You can see the area in the back standing. Again, this does work when it wants to. So you can see sorry, I'm knocking everything at the moment, but I'll try and show you the interior a bit more. That little silver panel there is sort of where you would reload the ammo belt for the minigun. You can see we've got 2 fuel cans and a crate and a passenger seat. Again, the passenger seat is now the driver's seat for the Warden, which was that tank car. Didn't really put any gauges on. You kind of see through the bodywork there. That's because I didn't put the windshield in. I glued the chassis to the body before I realised I hadn't put the windshield back in. So kind of oof there. I will do my little PowerPoint presentation thing at the end to show you these in some closer and better detail, because I do record these on my phone, so it's not the best of qualities. Also, like, I've got the gun so it will rotate and sort of stay. The ammo belt will kind of force it back into the straight position. But, you know, one worry with a minigun though is it's a bit too short, and I would think the muzzle energy would severely give the driver some discomfort and possibly even blind him. But you know, it's only a model, who cares, it's dispensive disbelief sort of thing. So yeah, okay, so that's this model done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stick around for the PowerPoint with some better close-ups of this vehicle, and I'll see you in the next one.